future of the Boundary Waters is over. The verdict is in, the decision's been made. We will protect this place forever.
Tonight, a major move from Governor Tim Walz, signing an executive order banning copper and nickel mining in the Boundary Waters. Thanks for joining us at 5 on air and streaming. I'm Rena Sargentopoulos.
And I'm Kevin Holmes. This order cuts off new permits and environmental reviews for mining projects for non-ferrous minerals, which are metals that don't contain significant amounts of iron.
It follows a vote in Congress back in April overturning a 20-year mining ban led by Minnesota Congressman Pete Stauber. And tonight, reaction to Governor Walz's decision is pouring in from across the state. Our Heidi Wigdahl here with the top story tonight. Heidi?
Well, in the latest back and forth, Governor Walz's executive order directs the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources and the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency to stop all permitting and environmental review work on mining projects in the Rainy River Headwaters watershed. The battle over mining in northern Minnesota has now been met with an executive order from Governor Walz banning mining near the Boundary Waters.
Once the majesty of the Boundary Waters is gone, no corporation, no government, and no act of God will bring it back.
Conservation groups have celebrated the move. The order also says existing non-ferrous or non-iron ore leases in the Rainy River watershed will also be reviewed.
There are 38 non-ferrous mineral leases in the watershed that we will review. Among these is one specific lease that is held by Twin Metals.
The DNR notes the lease in question is not located within the area that Twin Metals Minnesota has previously sought to mine. Twin Metals, a subsidiary of a Chilean mining conglomerate, has proposed building an underground copper-nickel mine near Ely. In a statement, Twin Metals called the executive order, quote, harmful to the communities in northeast Minnesota that want to see proposed projects given a fair shot in moving forward through a neutral and science-driven environmental review and permitting process.
The message that I'm seeing from the governor on this is that he doesn't want to give them the chance to prove that they can do this responsibly and safely.
Ryan Sisted, executive director of Better in Our Backyard, said in response to those who say the Iron Range needs to diversify.
Well, what industries are we talking about? What industry can you introduce to the region that can pay those kind of wages?
We understand the importance of jobs and economic development in northern Minnesota, but economic development cannot come at the expense of clean water and treaty rights.
Now, a new governor could overturn this executive order. Republican State House Speaker Lisa Demuth said this is not what Minnesota needs, and the review process for these projects should be allowed to go forward. Meanwhile, Democratic U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar says she has serious concerns about a project so close to the Boundary Waters, but that she's long supported mining and workers in northern Minnesota and believes projects can be done, quote, in a safe and responsible manner through environmental reviews and permits.
All right, Heidi, thank you. And this, of course, raises a legal question. Could this executive order survive a court challenge? University of Minnesota law professor James Coleman says if the next governor reissues it, a mining company may argue Minnesota law requires the DNR to act on permit applications rather than pause them indefinitely. A permanent ban, though, through legislative action, on non-ferrous mining in the watershed could also face a federal preemption challenge.
That's where you would probably have a federal preemption challenge with the federal government saying that this law basically goes directly against the federal law allowing production of these resources. It doesn't mean the state would necessarily lose, but that is the kind of area where the state government might be most likely to be preempted.
Coleman says those questions may never reach a courtroom. The order expires 90 days after Walz leaves office. The next governor would have to reissue or replace it to keep the restrictions in place. Our Sammy Salina dives into the legality of it all, coming up on Breaking the News.